Hello, everyone. My name's Craig D'Souza, and I'm from the Creative Industry Association. Each week, I'm going to bring you somebody new to just focus on their business and tell us who they are as a quick introduction to them. So today we have Denise from Craft Arena. Denise, hello and welcome.
Hi Craig, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very,
Good.
very well. So Denise, let's get to it. Just introduce yourself, who you are, what your business does.
Right, okay. Well, my name's Denise Gannon, and I run a business called Craft Arena, which is a bricks and mortar. It's in Billericay at Barleylands Craft Village, just outside Billericay. I opened up the shop in 2007, so we've been going a while now. We've got 14 years this year in April. And I opened it basically because I was doing my sitting guilds in embroidery and I was finding it difficult to get supplies. And I was looking for something else to do as well. I wasn't in full-time work at the time. I was sort of messing about with a few other things. So to cut a long story short, and it is a long story, I won't go into that now, I eventually opened it up at Barleylands in one studio there. I basically wanted a studio so that I could do my own work and sell a few things to help pay the rent. And I also wanted a bit of a gallery space as well. But I soon outgrew that, realised that people kept wanting and asking me for stuff I didn't sell. So the stock side of the business got bigger and bigger and bigger. And since then, I've expanded 3 times and I now have a shop, an area to do workshops. I sell sewing machines and I've got a large gallery as well, which I hire out to individuals and groups. And that's about it, really.
Fantastic. So, I mean, and you've seen over your 14 years the industry landscape change. We talk about this quite a lot.
Yeah.
So you've seen that change and you've been able to adapt that?
Yes, definitely. I mean, when I first started, I just sold a few mixed media stuff, but I've expanded now into yarn, as you can see behind me, more art stuff. I'm looking to expand that now because there's an awful lot of people going into that side of it. I think it's really important to keep your finger on the pulse and find out and evolve and move and change with your customers as well, because they do change, not just individual customers. Some come, some go. I've got customers that have been with me for the whole period, but we're getting new people in all the time, which is really, really great. So you've got to evolve and you've got to make sure that you've got what people want, or there's no point in being there.
Totally agree. It's not all about what you like, it's about what sells, right?
That's a big part of it as well. My husband often says to me that I only sell things that I like. I say, well, yes, what's the point otherwise? But yeah, I mean, you've got to keep up with the customers, and what they want.
Fantastic. And so, the last 325 days or whatever
It's been a challenge.
now has been a challenge for everybody in business, not just business, but personal and homeschooling and all these sorts of things. But but my question was going to be to you: what was your challenge over the last 12 months, and so on and so forth? But I guess it's probably been the same as everybody else. It's actually communicated. But what has the challenge been for you?
Yeah, I think the mental health thing is been big. I mean, it has for everybody, but that was part of the reason for me starting the business in the first place. I've found since I've opened the business, my mental health has improved dramatically, and not being in the shop has been a challenge. But we're getting there, and it's been really, really, really nice to hear from my customers. I have a regular newsletter that I send out every week, and every week somebody, at least 2 or 3 people, will email me to say that they've enjoyed reading it, and it's nice to hear from me, and that I've helped them, keep up with things and help their mental health as well, which is great. I mean, that's really, really good. But we've had to move the shop around a bit and change things around in the shop when we are open. I've lost a little bit of workshop space because I've made the shop bigger to make it easier for people to get around. Obviously, I've not been able to do workshops, so that's been a big challenge. And it also means now that I won't be able to do, when we get back, I've got to decide whether I'm going to go back to the space I had before or whether I'm going to involve my workshops to be slightly different, which is probably what I will do. we've been doing some online workshops, and they won't go away now. We will improve those and expand those as well. So that's something else that we've been doing. We're also going to be combining workshops with people that are there as well, so that people can interact with each other, so that when people do come into the workshops online, I don't feel as though they're out on the limb, that they can actually react to the people that are actually in the studio. That's something we're working on as well, which I think is important. I found it difficult to stay motivated, especially when you can't plan anything. I think that's been the biggest challenge for me. If I've not got anything in the planning pipeline, you're just sort of like hanging around doing nothing, and getting up later and later each day, and finding out that it's nearly time to go to bed when you're just waking up. It's not very easy. So that's been my biggest challenge, I think, and working out how I want to do things in the future. I mean, I've worked out that I really do need to be where I am, but it's just how we're going to be there. I think that's something that I've got to work out.
I think it's encouraging that you've got plans and you've got ideas of where you want to be, but obviously those are going to change depending on what your customers want. Right to have, and I think with all these sorts of things, people shouldn't beat themselves up about I haven't got a plan, because again, we just don't know.
Definitely.
But it's a case of seeing what happens. So now you've been in the industry for 14 years, and we've spoken in great length and depth and met at various different events and stuff like that. In your 14 years, what kind of top tips would you give? Maybe two or three top tips that you'd give people starting out, or people that are continuing in this industry?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is don't be afraid to evolve. Be prepared to evolve your business and to change it. They don't have to be great big things, just little things. Even something small can make a big difference. And don't be scared to ask for help. Find out where you can get help from. Belong to an association like the CIA. I mean, that's really helped me immensely. Join trades associations, anything like that. It keeps you in contact with people. You can sometimes, despite you've got people coming into the shop, you can sometimes feel a little bit isolated. And having somebody outside your family to just chat things over with can be an enormous help. So don't be afraid to ask for help. I think those are the two most important things.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And now, straight at the beginning of the end of last year, end of 2020, about New Year's resolutions, didn't we? And
never very good at those.
We're never very good.
My New Year's resolution is usually not to make any.
Yeah, exactly right. But we came up with a thing, didn't we, about word intent, and kind of like I'm going to challenge myself to be better. So my word is challenge, and also believer. We're going to believe in myself and that I can do other things. So what's your words of intent for 21 and maybe 22? What do you think you're going to...
More or less what I've been talking about today: motivate and adapt. I think I've got to motivate myself as well as other people, and I've just got to be prepared to adapt a little bit more, maybe, and be prepared to do that. So those are my two buzzwords this year.
Fantastic, mate. Motivate and adapt. That's fantastic. Well, Denise, it's been a pleasure getting an insight into you and your business. And I thank you so much. And
you're more than welcome.
Schedule our bi-weekly calls again. But again, thank you very much, and best of luck for this year.
Thank you very much, Craig. Nice to talk to you.